What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. A lot going on here right now. There's a lot of back and forth and a lot of controversy here over this bombing of this hospital and each side blaming each other here in the Israel-Hamas-Gaza war. Also, the speakership has another vote here. We'll go over the details here of that. Take a look what is going on here right now with the details coming out here over the bombing of this hospital in Gaza with hundreds of dead right now. And some of the details that are coming out here right now as each side, Israel and Hamas, blaming each other. Take a look here.
President Biden just said he does not believe Israel is responsible for the explosion at a Gaza hospital after some in the media faced criticism for their coverage.
So much of the world media prematurely reported it and named the IDF and the Israeli Air Force as conducting an airstrike. It just goes to show the importance of professional media coverage, of fact-checking. You cannot let Hamas dictate the narrative, the scene, set the scene. We just can't let that happen.
Fox News contributor and columnist for The Messenger, Joe Concha, joins us now. Joe, there is no benefit to Israel to intentionally bombing a hospital. So why the immediate rush to blame Israel from the global press?
Why is a great question, Todd. The New York Times, Associated Press, Politico, Washington Post, CNN. I could go down the line of all of these outlets you saw on social media yesterday immediately and definitively say that Israel was responsible for that missile hitting that hospital, killing hundreds of people with zero verification in this regard. There's plenty of video evidence now that says otherwise, and kudos to President Biden for saying that he has seen the evidence that says that this was not carried out by Israel, but by Islamic Jihad, basically, who works in league with Hamas. Here's the problem now. We see embassies all over the world now, U.S. embassies now being attacked, basically, because of this lie, and the U.S. media enabled it.
Yeah, and we're concerned that this hot situation is only going to get hotter.
This is where you're going to have to be very careful going forward who you listen to and propaganda going forward. You're going to have to be very careful here, especially when stuff like Vladimir Putin comes out. He's going to always criticize the Americans and Israel going forward, because you got to remember what side he wants to listen to. This comes as Vladimir Putin is meeting with Chinese President Xi to pitch their, quote, new world order as crisis grips the Middle East, as they're vying for more power. Putin said, quote, "We discussed in detail the situation in the Middle East." Imagine how interested he is in that. He also said, quote, "I informed Chairman Xi about the situation that is developing on the Ukrainian track, also quite in detail. All these external factors are common threats, and they strengthen the Russian-Chinese interaction." Imagine that. They're both strengthened because of this war going on here in Israel and Gaza. And this is how you know they're both full of shit. Take a look at this. China and Russia have both called for ceasefire in the spiraling conflict and have declined to explicitly condemn Hamas, who initiated this with 2,000 missiles on day one. Remember here that China has also called for a ceasefire in Ukraine, which Russia has denied. China has also set forth peace plans for peace in Ukraine, which Russia quickly shot down China's peace plans and said, yeah, right, we're not stopping the war in Ukraine. We're simply trying to either annihilate them or take over their country. We really don't want peace, guys. We just want to take over Ukraine. I mean, let's just read the writing on the wall. This is pretty obvious to anybody that's paying attention. And now that either Russia, Iran, or North Korea is funding Hamas, you also got to think of what the exit strategy, what the end game will be for this war as well. Yeah, so you guys can let me know your thoughts here in the comments, but we already have hospitals being attacked and demolished here, and this is probably just the start of this war. Really, this is a war that's been going on for a long time, but this is a massive new phase in this war that, God help us all, this is not looking good in any way, shape, or form. And the Palestinian leader won't even meet with US President Biden. So you got to kind of wonder here, what are their goals? What are their objectives? How do you get the war ended here? Is this going to be a longer war than expected? Yeah. And a lot of people are fearing that this war that has been going on for thousands of years, really, could turn into something of a modern day Ukraine that has been going on for 20 months now and could have hundreds of thousands of people as casualties. Because remember here, Russia has confirmed over 100,000 deaths that we detailed here in a official government report that they have to pay out to families of deceased in a government report that Russia did. And this is, bizarre for Russia to even document something like this, but that's just on the Russian side, okay? And this is 20 months into the war. Imagine if this Israel-Hamas-Gaza war goes 20 plus months. We're talking over a year and a half, going into 2 years now. You guys can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything. If you haven't yet, subscribe down below. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos. And thanks for liking and sharing these videos. Click here to see the FBI warning of what could happen in the US. Or click here to watch my newest video next.